Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Today I conducted a live free training for almost 4 hours, more than 4 hours, and it was wonderful experience. I could help a lot of people to get started into Vedic astrology and learn Vedic astrology and even to the point to start making predictions. So if you want to learn more about it, you can join me on uh, my website or any of my work. So what you are going to see after this point is a part of Q&A session for the live free training I conducted today in the early morning, Indian Standard Time. Okay, so just watch it and make your notes and get most out of it. Namaste. Okay, and this is how, and while coming to this you always have so many different things to look at. Whatever we have learned till now, you have to focus on all those points, and you have to apply it in this final. So this is how you predicting. This is the one way of predicting it. There are many other ways to look at it. Okay, there is one thing called as yogas. Okay, yogas also bring in a lot of predictions, but the problem with the yogas is there are thousands of yogas, and you can hardly remember 10 to 15 yogas. If you are a genius, you will remember 500 yogas, but not more than that, right? So yogas have a limitation on an astrologer, on astrologer's part, because he cannot remember all the yogas. But yogas, most of the yogas bring in the positive effect and a negative effect. Most of the time it will bring in wealth and success, most of the yogas on a positive side. So give importance to the name of the yoga rather than just what's why it is called as a Parvata Yoga, why it is called as a Pancha Mahapurush Yoga, why it is called as a Dainya Yoga, why it is called as a Daridra Yoga, why it is called as a Gajakeshari Yoga, right? So give importance to the name of that yoga rather than what are the effects of that yoga. Effects will be more or less the same, right? But give and learn about the names of the yogas. Okay, yogas will give you the possibility, the potential of that person to the potential of that person to give give you the potential of the person, what can happen. And for all the answers of the when it will happen, you have to go to the Vimshottari Mahadasha or any other dasha you follow. At least apply 2 to 3 dashas like Vimshottari Mahadasha, Yogini Dasha, and Chara Dasha, right? So you have to have these at least 2 to 3 dashas, Narayan Dasha and Kalachakra Dasha, and Gemini has many other Dasha, Aya Dasha, and so on. But you have to focus on at least combination of 2 or more dashas to get the right predictions. Okay, so this is how you really get into the predictive part of it, and you can, with these techniques you can predict about the career. If you could write whatever we have learned today, if you could write it for your own, if you could write it with your own chart, like what are the elements, where are my planets placed in, and all that stuff, you will start making predictions about yourself. Okay, and that this is where it will bring in, it will take you to the next step of the predictions. And this is how you will look into the details about your own chart as well. And if you're getting value from this video, please let me know into the comment section. And if you have any questions around, please share them as well. Now we are going to get into the question and answer part of it. How to find if birth, how to find if our birth time right or not, so that nakshatra padas will be. No, you cannot do that, because most of us have a wrong timing. Okay, this is a classical difficulty we all face, right? This is the classical difficulty we face all the time. Okay, but you can do the rectification. That's a reverse engineering, but you don't always need to have that intensive rectification. Uh, you can simply try and see if 5 minutes, 10 minutes before and after your birth time, whether it's changing the lagna. Forget about the shashtiyamsha. Shashtiyamsha, I think most of us won't have the accurate shashtiyamsha unless you know the exact timing of birth. Okay, but yes, this is a valid question. You can have the right session. You can have the right nakshatra padas as well. You have to reverse engineer it. Okay. What is the significance of the Shamsha? Yes, the Shamsha is, in fact, the Shamsha is similar to your D1. The Shamsha is how you look at your work, the way you appear in public, the way you relate to the society can also be seen with D10. And similarly, we talk about D9. I have also a template about D10, which is more like, how to how to identify your planets from D1 to D10. Okay, so this is the most important. Yes, D10 is significant. We have some question around, for example, Saturn and Jupiter are aspecting the same house. Which one will have more effect? Does it depend upon the degree of the planet? Yes, this is a very good question, right? So we have more than one planet aspecting the same house, the most important is, in this case, Saturn will have an age in this aspect. Okay, malefic planet aspects mostly wins. Okay, the aspect of Jupiter will somehow help it to nullify the intensity of it, but it cannot override the aspect of Saturn. Okay, but again, you have to see who is getting the strength, who is winning, and then you can, do your math, like which is the prominent chart, which is the prominent planet in the chart, right? Let's say this is happening in the Cancer. So let's say you have Jupiter in Cancer, and you have Saturn in Libra, or Saturn in some other house. Then you have to think that, oh, Jupiter is exalted and is aspecting it with the strength, with the condition which is benefit to my ascendant, and so on. Then it will help you reduce the intensity of the Saturn's aspect. But yes, malefic aspects wins. Can you talk more about Rahu Ketu and how they shape our karma? I think I have already made my point, and I also have made videos on it. Okay. Can you talk about spiritual progress, soul learning? See, we are all soul learning. Even if you are the worst person in this and the most cruel person on this planet, you are still on the journey of the soul learning. Okay, you don't have to be a sattvic to be spiritual. There are all kinds of people and who can be spiritual. But to learn more about spirituality, you have to look at the moksha trine houses, the lord of those houses, and how they are behaving in the dasha sequence, to see if they are getting manifested in the right now. Okay, Does D9 manifest in the later part of it? No, I don't believe that. Usually, why it is said that? Because you see your D9 and all other planets are with you right since your birth. Even when you're 1 year old, your D9 placements were with you. Okay, so I don't believe that it gets manifested into the later part of it. Significance of the first house because of three planets in that house. Also, how to calculate BB point. Thanks. I don't have any knowledge about BB point, but the BB point is the midpoint of Rahu and Moon. Okay, so add the degrees of Rahu and Moon divided by 2, you will get some midpoint, and it will come into some sign, and then that would be the BB point. Let us calculate. Let us look at here. Share it. Share screen. Window here. Okay. So here, let me just tools options, calculating options, and chart. I will say this point, which is a Bhrigu point, right? And I will simply say yes, and you will see you got the Bhrigu point. Did that help you? Did that answer you? It is the midpoint, as Rahu and Ketu are conjunct here, so midpoint is somewhere in the same sign, right? But it is a calculation of Rahu and Moon's midpoint. Okay, I hope it helped you. Sir, is any problem in my chart regarding marriage? Please say no, Suresh Mani. I realized my mistake that I shared your chart and everybody's watching at it and sharing it in. Okay, what's happening in? Okay, it's not good for you. Okay, I apologize you that I took your chart and I could not predict on it. I just stopped it the moment I realized everybody's watching at it. It's not a good sign for you, right? That's why I took the example chart. There is nothing wrong in your chart. Absolutely no. You have Venus in the first house, and there are so many things to appreciate. I didn't even look at it. The moment I realized that everybody's watching, and we will have, even I got carried away, right? I just had watch your chart, and then I realized my mistake. No, it's not going to work. So I have stopped it immediately. Okay, nothing on your chart. Don't think about it. Okay, I apologize that I just took your chart and I realized my mistake. So don't think that there was something which is bad and that's why I just stopped abruptly. No, it's not like that. Ketu in the 16 degrees, Siha and Sun in Libra. Libra is ascendant. Which has more influence on planet placement, depositor or the Nakshatra Lord? Depositor is more related to that house. Nakshatra Lord is only specific to the just keep the Nakshatra Lord till the Vimshottari Mahadasha. Okay, it has some impact on it, but I don't want to confuse you with that. Okay, so for nakshatra, focus on the deity symbol, and that's it, deity and symbol associated with it. Okay. Hi, Saturn in the Nakshatra Pada 3 gives some tips to improve in ninth house places. I am not able to visualize it right now somehow. But if you have a Saturn in the ninth house, your belief system will restrict you from having friends, right? Your Saturn is aspecting the 11th house, right? Your Saturn is aspecting the 11th house from the ninth house of religion, spiritual, higher beliefs. So your spiritual beliefs will make you having a less friends. Is Atmakaraka your sole purpose? No. Atmakaraka, the word Atma is close to soul, but it's more than that. Atmakaraka is a planet which is the which shows where you have the soul um, signification, and the house where you have Atmakaraka is the most important house for you personally. Like your soul lies in there, right? So it also is somewhat true with the sun as well. Wherever you have sun placed in, you have soul purpose with that. Okay, but soul purpose is, I always have this, when I talk about the purpose and it's so vague and so vast. It's not just easy to decode it in one session. Okay, so Kshitish Patil is asking, Saturn 035, Jupiter 7, conjunct in 10th house in Taurus. Should I work more on the Dharma house to work in? I don't know your chart, but now I have already shared with you how it works. But you are on the right direction. Just analyze it and see how it works for you. Very good. How birthplace signifies if two persons have the same time and same chart, their life will be different. Yes, even the siblings having the same birth timing, just few minutes apart, they have so many things different in their chart, right? Because the amsha and the shashti amsha changes at 2 minutes, 20 seconds. It's you have to have that age of the last few seconds. So there is always a change in birth chart, no matter if you are, siblings born few seconds apart. Planetary positions for building temple. See, it has to be with ninth house and the Mars and the fourth house, and that should get the confirmation from the dasha. Thank you, Mr. Prasad, for your, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Astrology Lord. It's Jupiter, Saturn with friendly with temporal. Yes, this is a good question because Saturn and Jupiter are totally opposite to each other. And the moment they become temporal friends, they give you the better results. Okay, but with the dignity, you have to see. Here are two things important with Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. You have to see the dasha sequence carefully, because for Saturn and Jupiter, their dasha sequence follow each other. After the Jupiter conjunction, after the Jupiter Mahadasha comes the Saturn Mahadasha. Okay, so you have to see which one is winning in this conjunction. But very good question. Yes, because they are polar opposite, when they are connected with each other, you have to examine the chart. I think we covered this, right? Undead Dawn, you have got this. We already shared this. D60 chart determine the last birth on this life, for example. No, 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 no. Nothing like that. I have no knowledge about that. Thank you so much, teacher. Thank you, Clarice. Which is more impactful, Mercury in the sixth house, sixth sign, or Mercury in the sixth house, sign or house? I would say the sign will give you the more impact about the inherent nature of the planet. What do I mean by that? You can have a Mercury in the sixth house in any other Rashi. The house placement of that planet will also have an impact on the lordship of the planet. That is more important for the house placement. Okay, let's say you have Mercury placed into the sign of Cancer, into the eighth house, into the sixth house, right? So the lord of the eighth house and the fifth house is coming into the sixth house, is different than Venus in the sign of Virgo in the sixth house, because the third lord comes into the sixth house. Okay, so that's how it's important. I would say the placement of Mercury in the sixth sign of exaltation is more powerful, but they are altogether two different things. Okay, I suppose you're saying Mercury in the sign of exaltation in the sixth house. Why Venus like to be in Pisces? Venus supposed to be about fun, luxury fun. Now, I always share this in my videos. Again, go to the natural horoscope. What is the natural horoscope? Aries ascendant, Aries sign, right? So the what is the 12th house? 12th house is the house of where Pisces rise, right? For Aries ascendant, Pisces is in the 12th house. And what is the 12th house? 12th house is the house of bed pleasures. And that's what Venus is all about, the relationship and the intimate relationship with the partner, right? So Venus does great into the 12th house and into the sign of Pisces, which is, why it gets debilitated into the sign of Virgo, because Virgo is about analyzing things, and love is blind. Love is not about love is not about analyzing things. When we are in love, we hardly analyze our lover. We are in love with him or her, and we just love him from the bottom of our heart. This is Venus in Pisces, the universal love. Okay, that's why Venus gets exalted into the sign of Pisces and gets debilitated into the sign of over analyzing Virgo. Okay, in fact, Virgo is the ruler of the Virgo. Mercury is the friend of Venus. Still, it gets debilitated there. Okay, this is how you look at this placement. How to predict the higher education? Yes, when we are predicting higher education, the most important planets for us are like the ninth house becomes the most important planet for us. And the next thing to look out for are the dasha sequence and which two planets. Let's say you have Aries ascendant and you are moving into Jupiter Mahadasha. Jupiter is ruling the ninth and the 12th, right? So the ninth house is the house of higher educations. Okay, so when you're predicting higher education, focus on the ninth lord, its placement, condition, and connect it with the dasha sequence. You will have great results with it. Yes, 12th house is a bhogastan. What exactly is the significance of any Mahadasha? While going through any Mahadasha, do we need to work on the house where the planet is? Okay, yes. So when we are going through a certain Mahadasha, first thing we have to do is look at the placement of that planet in your chart. Okay, point number one, look at the placement of that planet in your birth chart. Then look at the houses ruled by that planet. Okay, and the third thing you can do is make that make that dasha ruler as the lagna in your birth chart, keeping all the planets intact. What do I mean by that? Let's say for this person, you have to look for how would be his Rahu Mahadasha, right? Which is going through, or let's say how would be his Rahu Mahadasha. Okay, so what I will do here is I will what I will do here is I will rotate the chart. Who is the Dasha Lord? Rahu. So I will right click here, rotate the chart, and then I will have a better idea about what's happening in for this person in this Dasha. I simply rotated the chart to the Dasha, and this is called as a Dasha Lagna. Okay, this is called as a Dasha Lagna, and then you will apply the transits as well into this, and then apply the current transits. How do we do that? Let's see. If I have to look for this person, what I will do is I will go in here and this new right now. I just did this for the right now. Okay, and see, I have just casted the chart for right now, and I will put in here, and now I will know what are the planets moving in accordance with his dasha, his dasha lord. Okay, right now we have conducted for right now itself, so it's not showing the difference, but you can have your chart, make a dasha as a lagna, and you will have deeper understandings about what exactly it can mean to you. Okay, so the rule is now this will activate the houses ruled by that planet, and the house placed in planet placed into that house, that will also get activated, and association of planets will also get activated, or any nakshatra dasha ruled by this planet will also get activated. Okay, let's say you have Saturn Sun conjunction and you're going through the Saturn Mahadasha. Okay, or your Saturn is in the Shravan nakshatra, right, which is ruled by moon. So whenever you are going through the moon Mahadasha, this Saturn will also get activated, and so on. Okay, this is how you have to analyze the dasha. Okay, if the 10th lord is in the 8th house, then can that person never have a career? No, 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 no. See, this is the 10th lord. So I just back to ascendant, right? So this is the 10th house. Okay, and let's say you have 10th lord into the 8th house. So if you count this, you will see that the sign of Libra is the 10th house, and the sign of Leo is the 11th from the 10th. Can you see that? This is the sign of Libra is 11th from the 10th house. So it is the house of gains for the 10th house, right? So the house of gains for the house of career. In fact, this is the best placements to have a legacy, have gains from your career. You can also have some divine guidance through occult to get gains in your career, and so on. Okay, let's say you have Saturn in the 8th house, which also has the third aspect, will aspect this 10th house as well, and will make you work even more, right? This is how you have to analyze these placements. Okay, now let's stop sharing. Okay, what happens when Darakaraka debilitated? When Darakaraka is debilitated, look for a person with a exalted Atmakaraka, or your Darakaraka as his Atmakaraka getting exalted, right? Do we have to wait until return for marriage? If you have the Saturn associated with the seventh house, like for Cancer ascendant or Leo ascendant, then you can wait for it. Otherwise, if you have a planetary alignment which is showing the quick marriages or early marriage, I don't think you need to wait for it. I didn't know the context. I hope you are asking for the same set of questions. Sir, I studied astrology about last 3 years, and I'm happy today. I sit 4 hours, feel happy to understand content. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this was information. This is all. It's almost 4 hours. Crazy. We are completing this, but those who are present here, I want to give you some bonus to for being here. If you are willing to join me, yes, if you want to join, yes, Anish Ghosh, yes, I hope you enjoyed the session, Anish, and it will help you to learn and start reading that course as well. Yes. Now, If you want to learn more about this, you can join me on 33 days Vedic Astrology Bootcamp, wherein I'll be sharing all these things. Or if you want to learn it personally through me, you can connect with me and so on. But I highly appreciate you for being with me for 4 hours. And thank you for being with me for so long. We planned for 3 hours and now it's 4 hours, 20 minutes, and we're still not done. I still feel I didn't talk about D9, D10, Nakshatra, and so on. But I think we have to stop right now and maybe have one more session, free session like this, to have your questions and give you more value. Okay, and those who are my students, thank you for being in this session. You will get the recordings of this, and we are also going to have live calls for the workshop students. Okay, so if you want to join me, join me on 33 days Vedic Astrology Bootcamp. You will have a lifetime access, and I'll be starting a membership as well, and all that thing. So if you want to connect with, and if you resonate with what I talk, and if you believe in my work, connect with me through course, through consultation, or through webinars like this. And yes, thank you. Sending tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next live training, maybe specifically to some Varga, Nakshatra, whatever it is. But see you in the next videos. Namaste.